Hey everybody, this is David here, aka Chessman, and I'm here with another chess video. Uh, we're going to be looking at the World Championship match that happened in 1987 between Garry Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov, and we're going to see what chess openings they used. Now, before we start, I just want to say, if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to the channel. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it really helps me out. Um, I Another thing, I believe in God, and I know God is going to decide whether my channel is a success or whether my ability to play chess is going to improve or not. And I know He helps us in all our decision making. And so, yeah, if basically, if you subscribe and watch my video for like 10 minutes at least, it'd be nice if you saw the whole video, but if you could at least watch 10 minutes, that's like giving me $1. So, please donate to my charity by watching the video and subscribing. I really appreciate it and I'd consider you a friend. So I thank you very much and let's continue. All right. So we're going to look at each game and see which openings they used, and we're going to take notes and add it to our list of openings to learn. So this was between Garry Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov, and actually Garry Kasparov was the champion, and they tied in this match. But the rules are, if there's a tie, the world champion retains their title. So yeah, these two players were really closely matched. Um, and by the way, I'm using the website 365chess.com. I recommend it. It's free. Of course, they ask for donations as well. I don't know if you want to do that as well, but it is free for now. And they have this unique feature where you can click on this tab here and it'll show you the exact opening they used. So that's what we're going to be using today. All right, so get your notebooks out and get ready to take notes. So let's check out the first game. All right, in the first game, they played a d79 Neo Grunfeld with move 6 kingside castles main line. And in case you're not taking notes and you're just learning visually, I'm going to play the moves. The order of the moves went d4, knight f6, c4, g6, g3, d5, bishop g2, bishop g7, knight f3, castle kingside, c6, c takes d5, and c takes d5. And if you come to this website, you can check out different games from different grandmasters that played from this exact position, and you can add that to your repertoire as well. All right, let's continue. All right, game two. Game two, they played an A29 English, 4 knights, kingside fianchetto. And the opening goes c4, e5, knight c3, knight c6, knight f3, knight f6, g3. That's the A29 English. The next game, it looks like we already covered it. It's the d79 Neo Grunfeld with the move 6 kingside castle mainline. We covered that in game 1, so we're going to skip that. In game 4, looks like we already covered this one as well. It's the A29 English. We already covered that in game 2, so we're going to skip that one as well. All right, game 5. In game 5, they played a d87 Grunfeld exchange Spassky variation. And the opening goes d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, d5, c takes d5, knight takes d5, e4, knight takes c3, b takes c3, bishop g7, bishop c4, kingside castle, knight e2, c5. That's the d87 Grunfeld. In game 6, they played an A25 English Sicilian reversed. And that opening goes c4, e5, knight c3, knight c6. That's the A25 English. All right. Looks like in game 7 it's a repeat. It's the D87 Grunfeld exchange Spassky variation. We already covered that. So game 8, I don't think we covered this one yet. Nope. In game 8, they played an A36 English symmetrical variation. And the opening goes C4, C5, knight C3, knight C6, G3. And that's the A36 English. And in game 9, let's see that one. All right, in game 9, they played a D88 Grunfeld Spassky variation, mainline 10 CD, 11 CD. And the opening goes D4, knight F6, C4, G6, knight C3, D5, C takes D5, knight takes D5, E4, knight takes C3, B takes C3, bishop G7, bishop C4, kingside castles, knight E2, C5, kingside castles, knight C6, bishop E3, C takes D4, C takes D4. This was played by Boris Spassky in 9 games. That's the D88 Grunfeld. All right, and in game 10, they played a B17 Carol Khan Steinitz variation. And the opening goes E4, C6, D4, D5, knight C3, D takes E4, knight takes E4, knight D7. That's the B17 Carol Khan. And in game 11, they played the D87 Grunfeld exchange Spassky variation again, so we're going to skip that one. And in game 12, they played a D35 Queen's Gambit declined with move 3, knight F6. And the opening goes D4, D5, C4, E6, knight C3, knight F6. That's the D35 Queen's Gambit declined. And let's see, I don't think we covered this one yet. Nope. All right, so in game 13, they played a D85 Grunfeld exchange variation. And the opening goes D4, knight F6, C4, G6, knight C3, D5, C takes D5, knight takes D5. That's the D85 Grunfeld. And in game 14, they played the B17 Carol Khan Steinitz variation. And the opening went E4, C6, D4, D5, knight C3, D takes E4, knight takes E4, knight D7. That's the B17 Carol Khan. All right, and game 15. In game 15, they played a D97 Grunfeld Russian variation with E4. And the opening went D4, knight F6, C4, G6, knight C3, D5, knight F3, bishop G7, queen B3, D takes C4, queen takes C4, kingside castles, and E4. That's the D97 Grunfeld. And in game 16, They played an A29 English, 4 knights, kingside fianchetto. And that opening goes c4, e5, knight c3, knight c6, knight f3, knight f6, g3. That's the A29 English. And game 17. This is a long one. They played an E97 King's Indian Orthodox Aronin Tamanov variation. In parentheses, it's the Yugoslav attack Mar del Plata variation. And the opening goes d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, knight f3, kingside castles, bishop e2, e5, kingside castles, knight c6. That's the E97 King's Indian. And in game 18, they played a D58 Queen's Gambit Decline Tartakower. And in parentheses, it's the Makaganov Bondarevsky system. And the opening goes d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5, bishop e7, e3, kingside castles, knight f3, h6, bishop h4, and b6. And that's the d58 Queen's Gambit declined. And it looks like in the next game, game 19, they played the same opening. So we're going to skip that one. And game 20, they played a d53 Queen's Gambit declined with moves 4, bishop g5, bishop e7. And that opening went d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5, bishop e7. That's the d53 Queen's Gambit declined. Not sure. Okay, looks like we did cover this one. In game 21, they played the d97 Grunfeld, Russian variation with e4. We covered that in game 15. So we're going to skip that one. In game 22, they played a d37 Queen's Gambit declined with 4 knight f3. And the opening went d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, knight f6, knight f3. That's the d37 Queen's Gambit declined. And in game 23, I believe, they played the A34 English symmetrical variation. And that opening goes c4, c5, knight c3. That's the A34 English. And in the last and final game, which Kasparov won to tie the match, it looks like, they played an A14 English Neo-Catalan declined. And the opening went c4, e6, knight f3, d5, g3, knight f6, bishop g2, bishop e7, and kingside castles. And like I said, if you come to this website, you can check out different games that were played from this position and see what they played. See all the best moves. Alright, so those are all the games. Looks like there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decisive games. So they each won 4, and the rest were draws, which made the match tied 12-12. Alright, so that's it. That's all the openings they used. Um, there's not much more to go over. If there was a particular game you're interested in, let me know, and I'll do a video on it, and I'll analyze the game, the whole game. I was trying to find a way to look at the World Championship matches, but I can't. I don't see how I can analyze every single game. That would be like hours and hours, hours long video. So and there's just so many World Championship games to cover. I mean, that would be a long task, a very big task to cover every game. So the best I could think of was, well, let's see what openings they used. So that's what I came up with. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. I'm definitely looking for new ideas all the time. I'm trying to come up with chess videos that are interesting, um, that aren't too long, um, but it's difficult. So I'm doing my best, and I hope this was somewhat entertaining. I hope you at least feel like, all right, at least I got to experience the World Championship match a little bit. But otherwise than that, I hope you had a great one. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me, and I hope you have a great one. Bye.